Hey, guys, I'm not sure whether we are live or not. Don't think I can get it on Instagram, so I apologize. I'll post to that later on. So welcome. If you're joining me live, let me know. Put your name and where you're from in the comments. I'd be grateful. Okay, welcome. So, what are we going to talk about today? I want to answer some questions that have come in first. Well, no, I'll do that as I go along. So we're going to answer some questions. And I feel like I've gone lopsided, so bear with me for a minute. Like, hey, Zoe, you're lopsided. There we go. Hello. Anyway, these are questions that come in like a few times. And what I love about them is that they all point to the same thing. And these are women who are doing the work, but still feel stuck. So they still feel stuck. So what I want to say first is, it's not you. You're not failing. Okay, you're not broken. It's not you. You're not lazy. You're definitely not broken, like I said, and you haven't missed something obvious. You haven't missed something obvious. I don't know why that's come up on that, so I'm going to take that off because that is not for this. I don't know why that link has come up there. That's a different one totally. What I'm going to do is link this. If it shows up is the inner safety reset. I'll explain that in a minute. So anyway, so what's happening is this is happening at a level that your mindset work can't reach on its own. Okay, so today we're going to cover that, and basically we're going to cover the nervous system, the body, and why real change has to go deeper than the mind. Okay, so let's get into it. So the piece that's missing is the inner safety piece. So, and that's why I've linked that. That link there is a link to my inner safety reset. It's an interactive one on the website, or you can download a PDF. That's free, and it'll always be free. So you can go and click on that. So this is the inner safety reset. Basically, that's the piece that's missing with what's happening within us. So not as a concept, but as a felt nervous system experience. So you can do all the mindset work in the world, all of it, and your nervous system will still override it every single time, because your body, it doesn't feel safe enough to receive it. Okay, so the way our nervous system works is that, and there's a process that we can go through, but the way our nervous system works is that we have, it wants us to stay safe. Okay, so if there's something that believes that our nervous system, if it believes that there's something that is dangerous, or because that's the way it was taught, that's the way it works, is if it believes it's dangerous for us, you'll go over and over and over in your mind. There'll be something that says, no, don't do it. Okay, that is your nervous system saying, I'm trying to protect you because you are unsafe. Okay, but and this is not my concept, okay, I turned it into the perception principle, I call it, but it was a concept that was taught to me by my mentor. So I don't want you thinking that like I came up with this, because I didn't, but it makes sense. The name, the perception principle, I came up with. And what that is like, we start off with a belief. So our beliefs turn into an emotion. Okay, so our emotion then turns into a frequency. Our frequency then turns into our perception, and our perception becomes our outcome. 5 steps. So our belief creates an emotion, and our emotion creates a frequency, and our frequency creates a perception, which creates our outcome. 5 steps, which is why I call it the perception principle. Okay, so this is why the same patterns keep showing up over and over and over again. You've seen it yourself. You've been in different relationships, different people, but the same things are happening. That's because it's the belief that's there within it. We don't change our frequency. Yeah. So, and that's not your fault. Just sort of say, it's not your fault. Okay. Any relationship that you've been in, it's not your fault, but we can change it. Okay. We can change it because your frequency lives in the body, not in the mind. Most people work on the belief side of it and the emotional side of it, but they skip the frequency altogether. And that's where the gap is. That's where the gap is. So real change isn't just a mindset shift. It's a somatic shift, which means it's within your body. Your body has to feel safe enough to basically receive something different. So when inner safety changes, or when it shifts, should I say, real shifts, and not like the calmness, your decisions get clearer. Your relationships can change. Money feels different. And rest, because when do you ever rest? Rest stops needing to be earned. So we also stop managing other people's emotions, because we do try to control other people's emotions. You start receiving your own life. That's not fluffy language, and I hate fluff. Sorry now, I'm not all woo-woo and stuff like this. It's not fluff to me, it makes sense. That's what I see happen, okay? So, like I said, there's 5 steps to our creation. We create our outcome based on our beliefs, but we miss the frequency step, the body, what's happening within your body, okay? So this is what I work on. We get to the root cause of what that is. So a few questions that people have had that I just want to go through for a bit, and then I'll explain like why I'm doing this, because I feel like there's a lot of us, including myself, because I still go through it, is we get into a same situation where we feel that nothing's ever working for us. We're going over the same things over and over and over again. And I think this is why, well, it is why I created GAP, which is Grow, Align, Prosper, is because I believe that for us to grow and align within our own body, then we become prosperous afterwards. And that doesn't always mean prosperity money-wise. It's prosper in every single aspect of our lives. And when I started learning about this, that's when things started to shift in my life. So some questions. And if you've anyone on the live stream, if you're here, welcome, like I said. But if you are here, let me know that you're here, and put, because I can't see no comments at the moment. So just let me know if you're here, and if there's anything that you want me to answer. I have got some questions that were sent in beforehand, so I will answer them the best I can. I do have notes, so I remember like what I'm saying, so you're going to have to bear with me. Okay, so first question is, I've done so much work on myself, but I'm still waiting for my real life to start. Okay. I see this a lot. I mean, I've gone through this. It's like, when do I start living my life? That's a choice, okay? It is a choice. But it's not because you're lacking effort. You don't lack effort in trying to like start your own life. Basically, the work that you've done on yourself cognitively, the nervous system within you hasn't caught up to that. Okay, so when you're working on yourself, we say, okay, I've done all the mindset work, I've done all this, but why is nothing else happening? And it's because your nervous system still doesn't feel safe enough to accept or receive things into your life. So it's like your body's running like on an old program. So it's like you trying to update an app and you still got the old version open. So that's the way it works. It's like, yeah, you're trying to update an app and it's like, okay, why is this not working for me? Because the old version of you is still running within your body, and we have to change that. Okay, so the perception principle is what I work with, and like I said, people don't work on the frequency side of it. That's where the gap is. You work on the belief. So we know about limiting beliefs. This is where my belief is. This is what I want to change. And I can sort of like feel myself changing, but then my frequency is still saying, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I don't feel, it just doesn't feel right. Your inner self is like your mindset, your nervous system is saying, I still don't feel safe though. So we create the same outcome all the time. Like I said, different scenarios, different jobs, different relationships. That's what happens, is because we miss that step. So because, like you said, your nervous system is still emitting the old signal, it keeps attracting the old reality. That's the way it works. So you may say, but I've changed my belief. But you can only change your belief based on your frequency. Okay? So you can't always change. You can sort of like keep telling yourself over and over, but I have. But you're still from within, not changing the frequency from within. I hope you're getting this. And if you've got any questions afterwards, let me know. Okay? So, okay. Someone's talking to me up there. I don't know whether you heard that on camera, but anyway, thank you. Real change is basically a somatic shift. It's a shift that's within your body. Your body has to feel safe enough to receive something different. So it's like your comfort zone, okay? So we've all got like a certain level of our comfort zone that we want to, or that we can go to. So it's like, say you're in a box, this is your comfort zone. So you can go up and up and up and climb as far as you can get. But then what happens is you get to the top of it and you're like, woo, no, not doing it. But if you took that one little step past it and tell your body that you're safe, things will start changing. But when we go like full force in and go, wait, I'm here right at the top. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. Your body's like, no. Doesn't work that way. Because you're creating more threats, I suppose you could call it, to your nervous system. Because it's feeling even more unsafe because you're pushing it way past its comfort zone. So basically, for this question, I've done so much work on myself, but I'm still waiting for my real life to start. That work that you've completed you don't waste what you've done and what work you've done on yourself. It's basically the start. It's the foundation, I suppose you could call it, to where you need to move forward. So basically, what happens then is from that work, the foundation, we go deeper into the body work. So that was that question. I hope that answered that question for you. Next question. I can see patterns in real time, but knowing doesn't stop them. So you can see your patterns, but you can see your patterns happen at the time that they're happening, but you don't know how to stop them. That's basically what I'm getting from that question. And this is a great thing because awareness is key. And awareness is the start of you realizing that I'm being triggered by something and I don't know what to do about it. Okay, so awareness isn't just the full destination, just so that you know that. But being aware is the start of being able to do something about it. Yeah. So what you've got to remember, though, is like if awareness was the only thing that changed our behavior, then if you went to a therapy session, you'd be like, just be aware of it. Just be aware of it and you'd have a fix straight away. It doesn't work like that. If it did, we'd all be brilliantly, well, that's if you're aware of what triggers you. Not everybody is, but anyway, yeah. So your patterns live within your nervous system. So think about this, the patterns, like this person can see their patterns in real time. So a little bit about where the patterns come from, just wanted to say it like this, is your patterns come from things that you've witnessed in your life that you, I suppose, didn't have a choice about. It was like your parents gave you belief patterns. The school and education that you were in gave you belief patterns. Work, when you started work, belief patterns. Okay, things have created patterns within your life that they stuck with you because you didn't know any different, and that's not your fault. That's you were learning a belief based on somebody else. You will learn a belief based on other people's beliefs and what they got taught and what they got taught and what they got taught. That's the way it works. Okay. So you can see the patterns that you know you want to change because that's what it's about. So it's like, because your patterns live within your nervous system, not the mind watching doesn't dissolve them alone. The mind doesn't dissolve them. Okay, so think of it like watching, I don't know, like a fire from behind glass. You can see it clearly, but you can't pull it out from there. You can't put it out. You can't go through the glass and be like, put water over it because it'll just hit the glass. So it doesn't work that way. Okay, so the pattern basically has a function around it, and it was always created to keep you safe. That's all it was for. Your nervous system is there to keep you safe, and your system is loyal. Okay, so it doesn't want you to go off, and it sees everything that is not part of your belief system as a threat. So it always sees it as a threat. So it's there, it's doing its job basically. Your nervous system is doing its job based on your belief system and the way you feel about it. Okay, so you have to work with the nervous system. So we can say, okay, our nervous system is like your mind. Your mind is like, and this is why it doesn't just change with mindset, because it's not just the mind. It's like, I call it like your ego as well. It's like, but your ego is your characteristics. This is who you are as a human being. But it's like, you need to work with that. I talk to it. Talk to it. Be like a friend. I was talking to a friend today and I was like, do you know what? Just talk to your nervous system. Just call it something different. Call it like something, because you have to interrupt the pattern that it knows. Okay, so you have to reroute the program that it was that was created within you based on the beliefs and patterns from the past. So it's like, how do you interrupt that pattern? Give it a name. My friend, I even know that I went to do I went to London to do read card readings, right? Okay. And the guy, I mean, you'll all know him, Kyle Gray, he basically said he lets it do like a funny voice, like a Disney character or something like that. Do something different, interrupt the pattern of who you are. And that's how then you start working with your nervous system, because you know it's not like, it's like you know that like it's trying to keep you safe, but you need to get beyond that for you to be able to change your beliefs. And the only way you can do that is either talk to it like a friend, or when it shows up or something, like in a funny, like use a funny voice to say like, that's actually not me. That's like, I don't know, Mickey Mouse. I don't know, whatever you want to call for yourself. So like you have to interrupt the pattern that it's showing you. Okay. And you have to reroute that within your body. And the body as a signal, like this is a body as a signal work. Okay. So you need to catch it before the pattern runs, not just observing it afterwards. So it's like you have to sort of like, it's the awareness piece of actually this is starting to happen for me. How can I reroute that before it gets out of hand? So how do I reroute that belief that is coming up and showing up in me again? How do I reroute that to make it, to make me interrupt that pattern before I do them or make them the same mistakes all over again? Relationships, work, I don't know, wherever you are. How do I interrupt that because I don't want to make the same mistakes again? I hope that helps. Okay, next question. Every time something good happens, I pull back or sabotage it. Okay. So this is common for a lot of people. We all do it, don't we? Just as you think you're getting into the good place, you pull back and like, I've done this a million times, okay? My channels that I like, I've been working on this stuff for a while, and it's like, okay, will I do it or will I not do it? Will I do it? Will I not do it? Yeah, it's the right time to do it. No, I'm not doing it. We all do it. We all do it. And that's not because you're broken. That's basically your nervous system has a tolerance. It's like it's a window of tolerance for good things. Just like it helps with stress and stuff like that. Okay. So it knows, it's got that window of tolerance. So if you've got a stress level, you've got that window of a level of stress, and it doesn't want to go beyond that. Okay. So if safety, success, or love wasn't consistent early on in your life, your system learned to distrust it. So think about this when you were a child. Okay, what happened in your childhood? And this is where this is where the root cause is. So I'm going a little bit into like what I do and how I work. Is everything comes from childhood, or a belief, like I said, a belief through your parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, friends, school, whatever. So think about it this way. If you didn't receive love as a child, or your version of love as a child was that something bad happened, I don't want to say it out loud, but like something happened traumatically to you because that was the way you perceived love to be, or you've envisioned like your parents not in such a good place and then doing like being all romantic and everything with each other. You see love as a different thing. That is how your nervous system is going to react to love. So if you've had like narcissistic parents, you could potentially attract in a narcissistic partner because that's all you know. And that's not your fault. That's just a belief that you have been programmed to believe. Like it's been embedded into you. Okay? So that's why your system learns to distrust the good things that are coming in, because it's like, whoa, no, that's no. Okay? So when these good things want to arrive in, your body reacts to it as unfamiliar. So unfamiliar equals unsafe. So when it's not familiar to your nervous system, everything is classed as unsafe. It's like a threat to them. Okay. And the pullback is a protection mechanism. So it returns you to basically what you know. That's why people pull back. That's why when you get to the stage of like, I'm going to launch my career now, or I'm going to launch my own business, they pull back and go, no, there's still something I need to do. There's still something I need to do. I can't do it. Can't do it. And it's because your nervous system doesn't feel safe to do it. What will people say? What will they do? How's that going to work? What? That's just the way it works, you know? So it's basically what I call a frequency mismatch. So you want it consciously, but your body is like calibrated to not hold it yet. Your body isn't ready for what you want. And basically the work is expanding your capacity to receive. So it's not pushing harder towards the goal. It's pulling back instead of pushing harder. I don't want you to think that means that you have to force anything, because that's not what I mean. It just means that like we have to, like I said in the beginning, it's changing the way we see things, the way we feel about things. That changes our frequency. I hope that answered that one. Okay, next question. I'm living on high alert even when nothing is wrong. Okay. I'm living on high alert even when nothing is wrong. So your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a real threat and a perceived one. That's what we were saying before. It's like your nervous system classes everything as a threat unless it's what's been like your belief that's been programmed into you. Yeah. So if you grew up needing to stay on alert all the time, so whether that's emotionally, physically, energetically, your system keeps resetting back to that. It stays on that instead of like changing that. So your nervous system still stays believing that you have to stay on high alert. It's like it becomes your foundation, your baseline. It's like anything above that, no, like that's no, not doing it. Like that doesn't feel wrong. It's dangerous. I can't go past that. That's how your nervous system acts. So if you want to sort of like, and we all do it, like even around rest, it's like when you go into a rest state, it's like your nervous system or people around you look at you and you're going, oh God, am I not allowed to sit and rest or do it? And do they think I'm lazy? I mean, so calm doesn't feel right for you within your body because you were always on high alert. So this is what's called, and I wrote it down here, this is what's called chronic sympathetic activation. It's chronic sympathetic activation. This is the fight or flight position that you're in, that stuck mode. Okay, so that's on all the time. And that's because, like I said, it was bred into you. So it's like relaxation techniques, talk properly, Zoe, work temporarily, but they don't reset the baseline. Okay, so that's what I was saying. You can go and rest, but then all of a sudden your mind is like, oh no, my God, people are going to think I'm lazy, I can't do this, and what am I going to do? And like, oh my gosh. So you need to build a new baseline. You need to sort of like recreate that baseline. So how do you do that? So you have to do that through repetition. You have to do it through safety cues. So if you're sitting and relaxing, because we want to get our nervous system into a regulated state, okay? So like if you are sitting and resting, no matter what you're doing, it's a case of like saying, I am safe to take this time to rest. I'm safe. I'm safe to take this time to rest. I'll give you a little example, and I'll finish doing this. I woke up just like, I was working, I don't know, 5 days, 7 days in a row. I got 1 day off, another 5 days. So on that 1 day off, I knew I had washing to do, I had chopping to do, I had blah, 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 and blah to do. When I woke up that morning, I had in my head, sacred rest. Okay, so it's great to rest, but when you're sacred resting, it means that like you're going into your inner peace, calm state that like nothing can interrupt you and things like that. But anyway, I had sacred rest. And I was like, I haven't got time for that. I haven't got time to do that. Okay, so your body tells you what to do. This had come through my body so that I could hear it in my mind. Sacred rest. So I got up, had my breakfast, got a cup of coffee, and something felt weird while I was drinking my coffee. And I was like, what's that? I thought, that's strange. So anyway, I was going up, getting ready, sorting myself out in the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror and half my face was frozen. Half my face was frozen. I was like, that's why the coffee tasted weird. Couldn't move my face, things like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. That day you sort of like go into a panic mode a little bit. And I was like, no, okay, so we can do this because I can heal myself. I know I can heal myself. It's fine. Not a problem, not a problem. End up, no, Zoe, there's something wrong. This made me rest, okay? I was told to rest and I was like, I can't, got too much to do. Your body tells you what to do. I ended up with Bell's palsy, okay? And I was like, right, that's okay. People are like, you're going to have that for 6 months or more. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I needed to rest that day. I should have rested that day, okay? I should have listened to what my body told me to do because that was trying to keep me safe. And I didn't listen. That means that like if your body tells you you need to rest, you rest no matter what. I know you can say, but I'm in work and I can't do it. Yeah, but like your next available time, your body is telling you at every single stage of the day, hour, minute, seconds, whatever it may be, you need to rest. Do it. Because I'm telling you, things like this could happen. Not happening now. So the way you create your new baseline is to teach your body that it's safe. Okay, it's your inner safety is about making your outside world safer. Okay, so it's like telling your body what to do, teaching your body that it's safe right now to rest. It's safe to be here and do nothing. It's safe. It can do that. And basically, that's the foundation of everything that I work on. This is what I do, and this is what I help people with. Because until the body thinks or believes it's safe, nothing else lands, nothing changes. You've got to work with your body because your body tells you everything. Like I said, I've just given you an example of what happened with me, for me. Okay, it didn't happen to me because it happened for me because my body was telling me, Zoe, you rest. My body was go and take the piss and like it wasn't. You needed because because the fact I'd worked the 7 days, I knew I was going into another 5, but it was like your body is telling you to rest because if not, guess what? We'll make you rest. That's the way I felt it was because I had to take that day and the next day off, and luckily it was coming back that day because, well, listen, like I said, I work with my body, so I understand what to do. So they're the questions that I got asked. I don't see any questions in the comments or anything like that, so I apologize if you do that. I can't see anything up for me now. If you have any questions or anything later on, I do not know why this white butterfly is on it. I don't know why that is on there. So that's coming off. What I do want to do though now is tell you the single question that I get is basically, it's the same, it's pointed to the same route. Okay, so it's because your nervous system hasn't learned that it's safe yet. Okay, so I know there's a lot of people out there that do nervous system regulation and things like that, and that's great. Okay, love it. However, I do believe that there is something deeper down that we need to work on, which is what I do. I believe that there's like basically a root cause to everything that we go through. And I want you to know, first of all, that like if you've got a nervous system that is trying to keep you safe, that's not a character flaw. It's the way it works. It, like I said, that is what the nervous system's job is. And it's basically a survival response. And because you want to move past that, it's basically outlived its purpose, but it doesn't know how to get through that. Yeah. So this is the work that we do isn't about trying harder or knowing more. It's about going deeper into the body. And it's going deeper into the pattern, like I said, getting into the root cause and finding out what frequency are you running on at this time. So before I go, I do want to mention that I do have something coming up. I have 3 one-on-one sessions, private sessions that I'm holding space for. I'm opening up in July. It's called the Inner Safety Intensive. So I've got the Inner Safety Reset, which is pinned in, which is in the comments. That's your free Inner Safety Reset, where you can go and work on that now, and it's free forever. You can go and do the interactive one or the PDF version you can download. But what I'm doing is these 3 one-on-one sessions. It's called the Inner Safety Intensive. So this is 6 weeks, just one-on-one, me and whoever feels like they need work. I'm working on everything all together. Okay, we're going to get down to the little tiny minute root causes of what is happening within you. Okay, and it's for women that basically they've been in the work and they're ready for a level of support that holds them through all of it. Okay, like all of it at once. It's like, and it's not going to be, even though it's called intensive, it's not going to be, I'm doing that because it's in the 6-week container. Okay, it's not going to be a case of like, but you have to do this. Okay, I wouldn't do that. This is something we're going to do to make your nervous system become safe. You feel safe with your nervous system. Okay, and it's going to be slow steps. Okay, there's going to be each week is based around a certain subject, but whatever you are going through, we will be working on that. And there are also going to be times where in between our sessions, going to be once a week for 6 weeks, is there also going to be times within that you can contact me for if you are going through something that you feel that you need support on. Okay, so it's not just going to be 6 weeks and forget about you. Okay, it's like, it's a case of like within them 6 weeks, this is what, and I can tell you all about this if you're interested in this. So like I said, if there's something that you know that you are ready for and that you need to move past, that you've been trying to do all the mindset work and things like that, then do you know what, just DM me on any of the well, not YouTube, you can't DM me on YouTube, but like, do you know what, in the description in YouTube, there'll be an email me. It's reachout@growalignprosper.com. So you can either do that or DM ISI on any post on Facebook or Instagram. So I'll reply to you personally. And like I said, it's just to find out information. There's no pressure. I'll explain exactly what is happening and what the 6 weeks are about. And like I said, if you're ready for that or you're not ready for that at the minute, go and do the Inner Safety Reset. See how you feel about that, and you can contact me after that. But this is why I've started to go live and to talk about all this stuff, is because I believe that like it's time now for us to work on these things. It's time for us to listen to our bodies. We don't listen to them enough, do we? We don't go, and I'm just going to say this as well, because this can be a bit of a, because people can get a bit worried about it. When I say we get to the root cause, okay, so I was trained in forensic healing, which that gets to the root cause of whatever you are going through. So if you've got chronic pain, illness, you've got any diseases, okay, if you've got anything like that, if you've got, if you have problems around love, money, you name it, whatever, forensic healing gets to the root cause of where that came from. But with that, I mean, I can pinpoint the age that it happened and potentially what happened. Okay. That's what forensic healing does. So I've taken sort of like that concept and working it into this, because there's a belief that was created, which is what causes these things within your body. Yeah. That's why I built Grow, Align, Prosper, because it's time for people to realize that there's more than just certain things in the world that, I mean, it's like if you want to take medication for the rest of your life, that's your choice. Okay. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't like, doesn't bother me. But what I am going to say is there's other ways. And that's up to you. If you know that you're ready to go further and ready to do the work, then reach out to me. DM me, ISI, or reach out at growalignprosper.com. And guys, thank you very much for joining me. If you are on the replay, just hashtag replay, so I know that you're on the replay. Any questions, like I said, let me know and I will answer them as quickly as I can. Bye.